Alright. So, I need to get better at doing my transitions so that the editing gets a little bit easier. Because editing takes forever. Anyway, we are going to be moving into CreationWatch. So, I don't know if any of the rest of you all do this. I like to kind of torture myself. And I go out sometimes and I'll watch Kent Hovind do live streams. Not just as whack and atheist and things like that, but just whatever he's up to. Sometimes I'll just pop in there and watch it, because it can be, at the very least, it can be good for a laugh. And this last week was no exception. I popped in for this stream, and again, he's talking Dr. Kent Hovind, one, God made male and female, and what happens 2 seconds after you die. But we're not even talking about any of that on this show. We're not going to, we're not actually going to dive into any of those. What we are going to do is we are going to just look at what he's pulling up here. And I'm not going to make a huge portion of this dedicated to this stream, because there's really not much more to it than just what he has going on in the background. So just pay attention here.
So the rapture is the catching away of the Christians. There's all the verses in my chart about that. Then there's the sun.
He's talking about his chart. That's what we're here to talk about.
Sun and the moon go dark. That's the key. That's called the day of Christ. Very different than the day of the Lord. Be sure to get a King James, and because they screw them up bad in the other versions. So,
here we go. This is what I saw. He pulled up this timeline chart of prophecies of. I guess since it's in the future, this is how Kent sees the post-rapture world. But I messaged him. I'm like, Dr. Dino. No, I didn't say Dr. Dino. I just said at Kent Hovind official in the side chat. I said, this chart's super interesting. Where can I see it in full? And he directed me to his, and there's more to the chart than this. This is just a little portion of it. He has a whole huge chart. This is the one that was like, whoa. I have to dive into that and really get a look at it. Ready for the rapture. All right, so this is the chart that I was interested in, and this is the one that I messaged him in his chat about. And it wasn't. I know it wasn't him. It was probably somebody who works for him, but responded in the side chat, said, "Hey, yeah, go to drdino.com and you can find it there." So, being a good girl, I followed those instructions and I went out to drdino.com. That's where we are right here. This is their homepage. Like a gallery that flashes up here. Not bad photography. And I do like the landscape of Dinosaur Adventureland, I'm not going to lie. I like being out in the country where you can see the stars. Like, that's gorgeous. And they got some cool climbing stuff. I don't know if it's up to regulations or what kind of inspection schedule it has. They got their dinosaur sculptures and things. But so I watched this go through, some creatures and whatnot. I don't see the chart coming up, so I decide I'm going to go, let's just go right into the gallery and see what maybe it's out here somewhere in the gallery. Okay, so these are a lot of the pictures that we just looked at. Going down through here looking for that chart, because they said go out to drdino.com and you can see the chart. I got a pig. Yeah, then I got distracted because I started looking at the animals they have here, because they have a menagerie, a little bit of a menagerie. They have ducks, and there's some tortoises. They had an emu. I love tortoises. Duh, right? I have 2 tortoises, or we have 2 tortoises. I guess they're not mine, but so I love tortoises. They're not the same species here. I think this is a Texas tortoise. I might be wrong, but I think this is a Texas tortoise, which means they'll get pretty big, but this one looks like a little baby. yeah, but anyway, scrolling down through here, and some bunnies and some cows. Now, I remember seeing something that popped up in my feed on Twitter not too long ago of some of the other cows at Dinosaur Adventureland, and they looked like they'd been through a Holocaust. So please make sure your animals are well fed. Please, I mean, if your cows look like skeletons, they're not healthy. I digress. Then the gallery ends. There's nothing, no chart. I'm like, what the heck? He told me to go to the chart. Where is the chart? There's nothing up here that says chart. Maybe it's in the mission statement. So we go to the mission statement. Just their Dinosaur Adventureland mission statement. Oh, and we got Bugbot out there stinging people. I heard him. Yeah. So nothing, no charts or anything out here. Surely it wouldn't be in donate. Events is just going to be their calendar, right? Just what they have going on in their calendar. Nothing out there. Where could it be? And then I noticed shop. No. He wouldn't be charging people to see this chart, would he? Surely not. Surely he has a free version. It's a PDF of stuff clipped together. Surely not. But he has some wild stuff on here. We got 51 Reasons Why the King James. We have more King James stuff. Children's books. Danny the Dino. Claws, Jaws, and Dinosaurs. So those are books. Let's see. Timelines. There is a timeline category. Would you look at that? Aha. So you can get a digital copy for $5, or you can get a $10 copy for $10, or a $10 copy for your wall. Yeah, or your classroom, or your homeschooling room, your homeschooling space. That's where you're gonna hang this up at, right? That's who they're marketing this to. But I'm not spending $5 on this. I'm not spending $10 on this. Fortunately for me, other people have spent $5 on this for their ministry and for their ministry's website. So I don't have to spend any money on it at all. I can go to that ministry's website and get my own copy for free. So yeah, but let's look at that. So here is a copy that the ministry that uses Dr. Hovind's resources. I say Dr. Hovind with quotes in full salute, with his little chart here. What do we have going on here? Now, obviously, this one's very, very small, and you're not able to read it, but we can break down some of the basic layout here. The bottom, we have basically a world history from creation to tribulation, I guess, the days of the Lord. What on earth is about to happen for heaven's sake? And then we got this section up here is what we have highlighted right here. This is today. Okay, don't worry though. I'm not going to make you all look at this tiny, tiny version. We're going to go and blow it up. So I have a large version here. Okay, before we move on to looking at this today section, we're going to go over what we have here below. All right, so we have our biblical timeline: Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses. We have the flood there. David tells you start here. We start looking at what books we're dealing with, because all this is Genesis, right? And then we have all the way up to Daniel. Let's get into the silent years before Jesus, right here. Jesus flips things around here, and we move into the time of the Gentiles, which I guess would be what we're in today, but Hovind thinks we're into something a little more. Yeah, blow it up. Better words were never said. So we get into today, and then the days of the Lord come after that. But that brings us up to here. All right. Who are they waiting for? Christians, Christ. Jews, Messiah. Buddhists, 5th Buddha. Muslims, 12th Imam. Hindus, Krishna. Theosophites, Lord Maitreya. Babylon, Persia, Greece, Ottoman Empire with a question mark, and Muslim Alliance. That looks kind of like a Sargon statue there. And then you have Antichrist makes treaty in Daniel 9:27. The Great Falling. I guess this is all supposed to be stuff that happens in the future. Time of Jacob's trouble, Great Tribulation. Antichrist breaks treaty. The 70th week of Daniel. So this is the prophecies in Daniel, if you're familiar with those. I'm going to pull that up here in a second as well, but let me see if I got a quote of it. 70 weeks are decreed for your people and your holy city, to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, and to atone for inequity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. Know therefore and understand, from the time that the world went out to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the time of an anointed prince, there shall be 7 weeks, and for 62 weeks it shall be built again with streets and moats, but in a troubled time. After 62 weeks, an anointed one shall be cut off and shall have nothing, and the troops of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. In its end shall come with a flood, and to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed. He shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for half of the week he shall make sacrifice and offering cease. And in their place shall be an abomination that desolates until the decreed end has poured out upon the desolator. That is the biblical prophecy in Daniel, the 70-week prophecy. And that is what our friend Kent is all about. They love this death cult shit. It's really, we got Christ returning right here, where it goes from purple to this dusty amethyst color. And you got your battle Armageddon, Satan in the pit, and you got some kind of break here, and then we get eternity, heaven, and the lake of fire for all of us dirty, sinning atheists out there, which I am looking around here, and I see a lot of dirty, sinning atheists in my side chat who are going to be joining me in this glorious lake of fire that they're always threatening us with. So stay tuned for that. We will definitely be diving into that smoldering pit together. All right. So that was kind of short, but I'm not really fretting about it because I didn't want to dive into this too much, because the next section is where all of the fun is going to take place. So that was a short little segment of Creation Watch, where we looked at Kent Hovind's chart of the timeline of the world according to his biblical worldview, I guess we would call it. Did you enjoy that? Did you find that convincing? Do you think that that is an accurate representation of the way that the years are going to unfold? No, me either. So, what I'm going to do now is close this section out. So thank you for joining me for CreationWatch and our visit again to Dinosaur Adventureland, where we discovered that no image on offered by Kent Hovind. I wonder if he charges for images from his gallery to be used. Anyhow, what they charge for his timelines and charts that he has for sale. Because when you ask for a copy of it, that's where they send you to go buy one. They don't say, "Oh, I'll send it to you so you can look at it." If Bugbot stings itself, does it die? I hope not. I need Bugbot to help manage my channel. I can't do all the shilling while I'm live. But and we also looked a little bit into Kent Hovind's Daniel prophecies.